you want to make the world a better place.
It was a bizarre set of circumstances.
He just made a very bad decision.
Actress Whitney has died at the age of...
Good day. We are coming on the air with breaking news about the death of an American music icon. Prince, the innovative, one-of-a-kind artist who's given us so much great music over the decades.
Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston, Brittany Murphy. What do these names all have in common? They all knew too much. They saw too much, and they all allegedly paid the price under very questionable circumstances. At least that's what Jim Caviezel allegedly said about the celebrities who died after attending Epstein Island. This is not a conspiracy theory. It's a witness statement from a man who allegedly saw the list and allegedly knew the names, a man who allegedly watched some of Hollywood's biggest icons fall one by one, each death more questionable and mysterious than the last, all with alleged connections to the same island, the same parties, the same system that allegedly trades in silence. And Caviezel, he allegedly has the fifth name, the sixth, the seventh, and he's allegedly ready to talk before it's too late, before the pattern continues, before the next icon becomes the next statistic.
You start to think, well, okay, who gained from her dying?
Ever.
Without a doubt, Michael Jackson's worth more dead than alive. People wanted him dead.
He was afraid something's not right. Michael told...
Back in June 2009, the world received the shocking news that Michael Jackson had died at just 50 years old. The official story was that Michael had suffered a cardiac arrest that was induced by propofol. After that, Dr. Conrad Murray, Michael's personal doctor, was convicted of involuntary manslaughter. Case closed. However, a lot of things didn't add up, and the questions never stopped, because Michael Jackson allegedly knew powerful people. He allegedly hosted them at Neverland. Michael allegedly had connections to the same circles that orbited Epstein, and his death came just weeks before his This Is It tour, a tour that allegedly would have exposed things about Hollywood and certain types of parties that took place there, about the people who allegedly visited his ranch and never wanted their names known. Dr. Murray served 2 years in prison, but still the pieces of the puzzle surrounding Michael's death were missing. Rumors started spreading that Dr. Murray had been paid off, but who allegedly paid him, who supplied the propofol, who stood to benefit from Michael Jackson's silence. And here is where the whole thing got weirder. As soon as Dr. Murray got arrested, the investigation seemingly stopped. But now, Jim Caviezel allegedly claims it should have gone further. And if only the investigation went a little further, it would have led people to the network that allegedly protected the living and silenced the dead. And turns out MJ's case wasn't the only one. On the 21st of April, 2016, Prince passed away. He was alone in an elevator at Paisley Park. His death was because of a reported fentanyl overdose. But here's what the official story doesn't explain. Prince had no prescription for fentanyl. He had no history of opioid. There was no logical explanation for how a man who allegedly didn't drink or do ended up dead from an overdose, and the investigation into his death got closed within weeks. No dealer charged, no supplier named, just accidental overdose and move on. But here's the thing, Prince allegedly knew things about the music industry, about the parties, about the powerful men who allegedly controlled artists like assets. And weeks before his death, he allegedly met with a lawyer about his catalog and his music rights. There were allegations Prince was ready to go public, and then the elevator, the fentanyl, the silence. Caviezel allegedly connected this to Epstein Island, not because Prince was there, because the same system that allegedly protected Epstein's visitors allegedly protected Prince's suppliers. The same silence, the same dead ends, the same convenient accidents that happen to people who know too much.
Why would Prince, who was so health conscious and so against smoking, drinking, and using, die suddenly at only 57 years of age? Was this a tragic accident, or are there darker reasons for his mysterious death?
On February 11th, 2012, the night before the Grammys, Whitney Houston also met her end at just 48. It was reported as an accidental drowning. Autopsy showed she had some substances in her system. The investigation was quickly ruled an accidental within days. No foul play, no suspicious circumstances, just another icon, another tragedy, closed case. But here's what Caviezel allegedly questions: the timing, the night before the Grammys, the people in the hotel, the friends who allegedly allegedly left her alone, the illegal substance that allegedly appeared from nowhere. Now Whitney was extremely well-known. She was at the core of the Hollywood scene. She also allegedly ran in the same circles as Michael and Prince. She also allegedly saw the same things, and her death came just as she was planning a major comeback, a tell-all book that would allegedly name names. And then just like that, she was gone, and her case was quickly rushed and closed, leaving more questions than answers. The next one on the list was Brittany Murphy, and by now you already know the pattern. Brittany passed away at just 32 due to pneumonia, anemia, and multiple intoxication. Yet again, it was all accidental. Her husband, Simon Monjack, also dead just 5 months later. Same house, same pneumonia, same anemia, same accident. Brittany's father said he found heavy metals in her hair on that ill-fated day, but his statements were completely ignored. So he hired a private investigator who allegedly found evidence of poisoning. But this also went nowhere. Nobody took Brittany's father seriously, let alone the evidence he allegedly found. And you guess it, Brittany allegedly knew things about Hollywood, about the parties, about the freak-offs and the NDAs, and the powerful men who allegedly treated young actresses like currency. And her death, it allegedly came just as she was planning to talk and expose everything. She was ready to break the silence. And then the pneumonia, the husband's death, the case closed. Now stop, take a step back and look at the whole picture, because individually, each case does indeed look like a one-off thing. But we all know there is nothing one-off about all of this. Michael Jackson, 50, cardiac arrest, propofol, convicted doctor, investigation stops, Prince, 57, fentanyl, no prescription, investigation stops, Whitney Houston, 48, drowned, coke, investigation stops, Brittany Murphy, 32, pneumonia, husband dead 5 months later, investigation stops, 4 icons, 4 deaths, 4 investigations that allegedly stopped too soon. And Jim Caviezel, he allegedly looked at this pattern and saw something else. Not coincidence. Connection to system. A system that was allegedly built to protect certain people at any cost. And a system that Caviezel allegedly claims is still operating, still protecting, no matter the cost. Allegedly has the list, not just these 4, more names, living names, names of people who allegedly attended Epstein Island parties and are still alive, still working, still protected, and the dead, they're allegedly the cautionary tales, the warnings, the proof of what happens when you know too much, when you see too much, when you try to talk. Now, Jeffrey Epstein wasn't just a financier. He was allegedly the hub, the connector, the man who allegedly turned a private island into a currency exchange where power bought silence, and silence bought more power. And the celebrities weren't just guests, they were allegedly assets. People whose fame could be leveraged, whose secrets could be recorded, whose deaths, if necessary, could be arranged. Epstein allegedly built the system that Caviezel is now exposing. Then came his arrest on July 6, 2019. Epstein was arrested at Teterboro Airport on federal charges of minors. The indictment alleged he dozens of girls, some as young as 14. The police said they had mountains of evidence, flight logs, witness testimony, photos, videos, but that kind of evidence doesn't just convict one man. It implicates everyone who ever stepped onto that island, everyone who ever flew on that plane, everyone who ever smiled for the cameras while knowing what was happening behind closed doors. Then, 34 days after his arrest, Epstein was found dead in his cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York. They say he unalived himself. But here's what the official story doesn't explain. Somehow the cameras outside Epstein's cell malfunctioned at the exact same moment he passed away. Not only that, the guards on duty that night also fell asleep. Just a day before he passed away, Epstein's cellmate was mysteriously transferred to another cell. The sheets were allegedly too flimsy to support his weight, yet his hyoid bone was broken, a fracture more consistent with strangulation than hanging. And the autopsy was also inconclusive, but the investigation was still closed. Case closed. Move on. Nothing to see here. His cellmate was moved out before Epstein died, the cameras weren't working, and the guards fell asleep. Hello? Nobody believed he unalived himself. He knew too much about some rich and famous men he met over the years. It's quite obvious that this guy did not off himself. Ain't no unaliving here, just higher powers hiding evidence. So what happened to all dirt and intelligence documents collected by FBI?
He was connected to some of the richest and most influential people in the world.
From Prince Andrew to Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. He would rub shoulders with the elite.
Probably did know too much. People are suspicious that
It's alleged that Epstein was about to talk. That's what his lawyers allegedly said. That's what prosecutors allegedly believed. That's what the victims allegedly hoped for. The man who allegedly had tapes, who allegedly had blackmail material on the most powerful people in the world, who allegedly could have brought down an entire network. And then just like that, he was silenced forever. Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested a year later, convicted and sentenced to 20 years. But the client list, the flight logs, the alleged blackmail tapes, still redacted. The names are still protected, still hidden from public view. The same system that allegedly protected Epstein for decades allegedly protected his secrets after his death, because the system wasn't one man. It was a network, a pipeline, a machine that allegedly continues to operate. Even without its founder, Epstein built the system. Epstein ran the system. Epstein allegedly died before he could expose the system. But the system, it allegedly didn't die with him. It just changed hands, changed names, changed methods. But the silence, that's the constant. The silence that follows the witnesses. The silence that buries the truth. The silence that Jim Caviezel allegedly refuses to keep. Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston, Brittany Murphy, Jeffrey Epstein. 5 names, 5 deaths, 5 alleged silencings. And Jim Caviezel, he allegedly has the list that connects them all. The living, the dead, the witnesses, the victims, and he's allegedly done waiting, done watching, done staying silent while the machine keeps running.